each week when I'm running my live group coaching calls for my Project Self-Worth members, I ask the members if they have any questions that they want me to address on the call, especially if they can't make it and they're watching the replay. So one of my members said, I want to believe that narcissists can change because I'm having moments of weakness. And I guess she was putting that out there as a question for me to answer on the call. Now, can narcissists change? Firstly, I want to say that the term narcissism is bandied around way too often at the moment. We do live in a very narcissistic society, but that doesn't mean that everyone is a narcissist. Narcissism is a spectrum. So people can have narcissistic traits, and a lot of people do have narcissistic traits, but that doesn't mean that they would be clinically diagnosed as a narcissist. Can narcissists change? Well, I have the belief that everyone has the capacity to change. Squishy in the background. She's not changing how quickly she's walking these days. I do believe that everyone has the capacity to change, but whether they will or not is a very, very different story. Whether they want to or not is a very different story. And a true narcissist doesn't think that there's anything wrong with their behavior. A true narcissist thinks they're God's fucking gift to mankind. So, and that's not generally what most people think. So if you've got narcissistic traits, then you will think that you're hot shit and that people deserve to be with you, or people are lucky to be with you, and they won't generally see their behavior as wrong. But a true clinically diagnosable narcissist goes around hurting a lot of people and they don't give a fuck about it. So a lot of people I know have been in abusive relationships with people with very narcissistic traits. Doesn't necessarily mean they're a true narcissist. It's on a spectrum, on a continuum. So I do believe in the capacity of everyone to change, but whether they will or not is a very different story. One thing that people need to be able to change, or need to be able to have the desire to change rather, is for them to acknowledge that their behavior is wrong, that their behavior is hurtful towards other people. And if they, generally what I've seen with abusive people is that they generally see themselves as the victim, which means they're not going to take accountability and responsibility for their behavior without lots and lots of deep work with a psychologist or in behavior change programs or with a coach or whatever it might be. But for them to seek out that help, unless it's mandated by the criminal justice system generally, for them to be able to seek out that help, they actually have to acknowledge that something's wrong. And so usually what I see is it's the survivor victims of people who've been abused who are the ones that seek out the help, because they ultimately know that there's something within them that's attracting these kind of people into their lives. But also, abusers make you feel like you're the problem, you're the one that needs fixing. So those are the kind of people that will go and generally seek assistance, support through whatever means they do. So really deep down, do I believe that narcissists can change? Yes, I do. Do I believe that they will change? Generally not. I'd love to hear your comments and feedback, especially if you disagree with me. I'm always open to constructive criticism and feedback, and having a healthy debate about these kind of really important topics. So hit me up.